If you have a goal in 2021 that you really want to achieve and you actually care about achieving, this video is for you. Today in this video, what I'm going to talk about is really why most goal setting doesn't work and what you need to be doing instead. Because today I'm going to show you the brain-based, or more importantly, your brain-based roadmap to actually be a fully booked coach, meaning making six figures. And I'm going to show you an exact example of how to actually do it. So this video is also going to be quite different from all the videos or all the trainings you've seen before on goal setting, because what I'm going to put into it today is I'm going to use this little diagram behind me, which is the logical level. So the level, the expert of management and change management, actually, Robert Dills, in 1917 introduced or invented this logical level. However, it's going to help us a lot for us in order to achieve our goals. And one of the reasons is why normal and traditional goal setting doesn't really work is most of the time because what you're doing is you're setting out a goal, you're telling yourself that's the number of, the amount of money I want to earn. And what you're going to do is you're trying to work towards that goal. The problem with that is if something is towards in front of you and not in your current reality, it will always be like that. So you're perpetuating that. What you need to do instead is you need to work from that goal in order to actually achieve it. So I'm pretty sure that you've seen lots of goal achievement or goal setting trainings that tell you the entire map of how to achieve your goal in terms of setting out your income goal. And I'm talking here especially about running your business, right? Setting out your income goal in 2021, and then all the kind of programs, the price points, and the number of clients you need in order to achieve it, right? Like, let's say you have a product for $1,000, and then you need to have 100 people in order to get to the 100K mark, right? This is some kind of the, sometimes a little bit more complex, right? But this is one of the goal settings a lot of business coaches are doing. But that kind of goal setting doesn't mean that you're actually achieving it, because that's quite easy. Writing out the numbers, putting out a strategy, putting out the numbers and planning out, that's easy. Because what it actually means is not that you achieve it. It means that you're good in math. That's actually it, right? Because it's different to be good in a strategy, to be good in putting numbers together and seeing how it all makes sense on paper, but it's a whole nother level to actually be the person who's achieving a goal. It's completely different. That's the hard part, right? Writing it down on a piece of paper, it's easy. Being the one who achieves it, that's the hard one. And that's why we have to look into change, because what we're going to do is we're going to change yourself. You have to be a whole different person in order to achieve your goal. And what I see a lot of coaches doing when they're not fully booked, they're working from that old mentality of an employee, meaning they're still this old person and now they're just trying to open up their business on the side, trying to scram it in, trying to do all the things and hoping to achieve the results without actually changing who they really are and still being in this old mentality. The same if you want to earn more money, right? If you see yourself as that person who's earning whatever, like 5K a month, and you want to go to 20K or 30K or so, you have to change on a whole different level. Because if you're not going to change, you're always taking that old self with you. And I'm actually a huge fan of not using change, but more importantly, creating something new, where you decide to cut off the old, right? Like cutting all the old identity, the old version of yourself, the old actions you were doing, and also more importantly, your old limitations, in order that you can step completely fresh into the new one. So I want you to start this training on a fresh slate, right? Being completely fresh for this new year, being a whole new person and approaching this on a whole new level in order not looking at what have worked in the past, what are all the limitations and reasons why you couldn't achieve it. Let's have a look in what you want to achieve instead. And I'm going to use this level here, the logical level from Robert Dale's, as help, and I kind of modified it a little bit in order to apply it and make it really applicable for you in order that you can achieve your goals. So it has 5 different levels, and what we're going to focusing on, the first one is the environment. Yeah, nice, cool. Now I've learned how to spell environment. What that means is pretty much your outcome, the actual outcome that you want to be achieving. And this year is going to be our 100K goal, right? I'm just going to use this example, the 100K, in order what we're going to work with. So now see that in order to achieve the 100K, it's on the lowest hierarchy of this pyramid, like it's on the lowest level. And what it says, the logical level, is that all the higher levels are affecting and influencing the lower ones. So in order to achieve the environment level, right, the amount of money you have, the kind of relations you have, the fitness level you have, these are all environment. I'm going to use the example obviously for business. You have to have a look in the higher hierarchy, the higher levels who are influencing that. Because what a lot of people are doing is they're only focusing on the environment. They're only focusing on, okay, here's the goal that you're going to achieve, without actually looking at all the other ones. Now, the next step is the action. So originally on the logical level, it doesn't say action, it says behavior. But I want to focus on the actions. Now, I want to find out for you that you focus on 3 core things in each of the upper levels. 3 core things, and I'm going to help you a little bit. What kind of 3 actions you can actually be doing in order to make sure that you hit the 100Ks? Pretty much, actually pretty simple, because you're realizing that running a business is really not that hard. It's more about becoming that person who takes the action, right? So let's get clear of the action. One of the action is obviously creating content. It's your marketing material to show up. So content is one. Another one, in order, the actions that you can be taking is obviously to sell, right? Selling your offer, selling your coaching. And the ones that's connecting the content with the selling part in order to get someone from your content into actually giving them the opportunity to sell to is the engaging part. So when you start to engage with your audience who are watching your content, or to make sure so they are watching your content so that you then get a chance to actually sell to them, so they are making a decision to buy with you and to buy from you. What we want to do is with the actions, we want to make it crystal clear. The number one reason when we're not taking a specific action is simply because it's not clear enough. So creating content, it's not clear enough. What I want you to do instead is finding out how many pieces of content do you want to create on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, right? You want to know how often are you going to sell? How often are you going to engage? And I definitely recommend engaging on a daily basis. So how that could look like. It could look like that you're creating, let's say 3 pieces of content, 3 to 4 pieces of content on your feed, right? If you're using Facebook, if you're using Instagram, these are the actual content pieces you're going to focus on. Then you can focus on, okay, at least once a week, or maybe even twice, I want to make an offer. I want to make an offer in order to invite people, whatever your sales strategy is, of course, jumping on a phone call or talking about my program. Like I want to do it at least 2 times a week. And then the engaging part, that can be, okay, I want to engage with my audience every single day. I'm going to set up 1 hour a day. That can be 30 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes in the afternoon or evening or so, where you spend that time to start engaging with your audience. Now, if you consistently would do that, if you consistently would take the action, consistently create obviously great content, consistently great sell, and also engage with your audience, you will see dramatically changes, right? So this, it doesn't have to be complicated, right? It actually, it's quite simple. Where it all falls down is actually doing it. Because I'm pretty sure that you set yourself up so many action steps that you wanted to be doing, New Year's resolution, right? But actually doing it, that's the hard part. And that's what we're going to focus on in the higher levels as well. But as you can see, if you consistently would do these action steps, obviously you can take your own action steps and kind of combine them or make them your own. Feel free to copy them. Feel free to copy anything I do here. Most importantly is that you decide to actually do it, because it's easier to just copy what I have instead of having a gap and overthinking and overcomplicating and not knowing what to do, right? So feel free to use it, because I know that definitely will bring you so much more results than what you're probably currently doing. The next level, in order to be able to be good, to actually see the results of the action steps, we have to look at the third level, which are the skills. Now, running a business is not something anybody ever gets born into. There are specific skills we have to learn, right? Specific capabilities we have to adapt and have to learn in order to run a successful business. When you look at any coach who's successful, it's because they develop the skills in order to be good at it. And I really want you to get away from the illusion that if you're just creating content, if you're just showing up without actually having learned how to do it properly, without really understanding what you're really doing, it's really hard to be good in that. Because then you feel frustrated because you take the action, but you're not seeing a result. And then you feel like your effort is not popping up, but it's because of the skills, right? If you're not having the skills, of course it's not going to happen. And I see it over and over again when I have sessions with my clients and their sales is not converting and they're using my script and I run them through. Actually, I ask them to role play and I see exactly why they're not following, where they're not following the script, because the skill is not developed. So we're focusing on developing that skill, because knowing something doesn't mean you do it. Doesn't mean you live that knowledge, right? You always have to make sure that it's a skill. So just by showing up online and creating content and pretending, just jumping you into the whole marketing thing and pretending that you know it all and you get all the clients, it's gonna be a really hard crash, because that's not gonna happen. I looked back to 2020 and really looked at the things like why my year was so successful, why I achieved so many of my goals, and why my income has increased so much. And there were actually two things, like two core reasons. One was I really worked on my mindset. I worked so much on my mindset, and especially on my subconscious mind and on the identity. And second was because I focused on skills development. I invested in influencing, I invested in presenting, I invested in becoming better at sales. I invested in actual programs to up-level my skills in those areas, because I can't pretend to do these actions and be amazing at them and see all the results without ever having developed the skills. So if you're looking for help in your business and programs or resources or whatever, only focus on the skills, focus on the specific skills. And I'm going to tell you the 3 important skills that you really need in order to do it. Obviously, they're kind of here, because one is copywriting and content creation, because your content is great when your copywriting is good. The second skill that you have to develop is definitely, well, get really good at sales. There you go. When you're good at sales, you can actually convert your people and you actually make money. If you're not good at sales, no matter all the other things that you're doing, it's not going to work, right? It's just not going to happen, because you're never going to close the deal. Just those 2 skills alone are the fundamental one. Another one, which I pretty much help all my clients with as well, and that is the connection. Because I'm going to share a secret with you. There are actually only 2 ways to sign clients. 2 ways, and you may want to write them down. One way is by creating new relationships. One way is creating new relationships. And the second way is by improving existing relationships. These are the only two ways to sign clients, especially one-on-one clients. Because a person who has developed the trust in order to make the decision to want your help, that you can help them in their business, in their life, in their health, in their love life, whatever it is, there is a relationship happening. And that relationship has to be established before anyone can ever work with you, especially if you're selling higher ticket prices, right? If you want to sell higher ticket prices, meaning like $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 tickets or so, you definitely need to have a relationship, because no one is just going to buy it from you just because, right? There's always the development of relationship. So when you become really good at the connection part, it's also the connection between turning strangers into seeing your copy, and also turning that copy into the people who are actually then signing up a call with you. So the connection is pretty much also the skill on how to book discovery calls, right? If you're really good at connecting and engaging with people in order to take them the next step further, instead of you having to wait for someone who magically appears in your inbox or in your books a call with you, if you have that skill of making that connection and influencing them that way, influence is pretty much in the sales part, right? It's pretty much in all three, then you're going to be able to actually achieve it. So let's keep further. Obviously, when your skills are great, you're going to be very better in your actions, and therefore you will be able to achieve the results. Now, let's have a look at the fourth level, the highest level, because these are all the levels that are influencing and impacting the other one. So what the fourth level is, these are your beliefs. And the logical level is beliefs and values. Because the truth is, you probably never gonna improve any of your skills if it's not high on your values. Because your time will be filled up with what's your priority, right? What's highest on your values. So these are also the beliefs around it. So if your value is your business, your value is what you, and I hope that's what it is, right? That's why it's so important to actually have a business and have clients based on what you love, based on what you love helping people with, right? Because then the value is already there. However, what I find out with a lot of people is that the beliefs are not there. All the limiting beliefs in terms of people don't gonna pay for what I have, my value is not enough, or I'm not good at sales, or whatever all these limiting beliefs are, they're going to hinder you to, first of all, develop the skills and being really understanding skills, taking the action 100%, and therefore not being able to achieve it. If you're not working on those beliefs, it's impossible to do it, because they're driving you subconsciously, right? These are the subconscious belief I'm talking here about. It's not the conscious beliefs, because the conscious beliefs you're having, like, yes, I do want to run my business and I do want to make those 100K a year, but your subconscious mind is against it. Subconscious means unconscious. You're not aware of it, and it's kind of driving you without actually seeing what's going on. That's where the self-sabotage comes in. So we have to change them. I'm going to give you 3 powerful beliefs that you can start to install and start to choose to believe, obviously with repetition and emotionally involving with them, in order to get into your system. So one of them, which I'm a huge fan of, which solves so many of your problems, is this: signing clients is easy and fun. Signing clients is easy and fun. That's definitely one of the beliefs you want to adapt, because then when it's easy, first of all, you will easily sign clients, right? But also it's fun. So you love what you do. Everything that's fun, it's going to be so much easier, right? The second one that I, based on all the coaches I've already worked with and seeing whether their most common limiting beliefs are and putting them into positive ones, is the second message, the second belief that you want to adapt is: my message is important and valuable. If you struggle with showing up consistently, right, or overthinking your content, it's most likely that you're not sure what to actually say, that you're kind of questioning your message, like what you have to say, what you can help your audience with or your clients with, right? But if you have that belief, my message is important and valuable, that will help you to show up consistently and talk to more people, engaging, get more content out so you understand that it's important and valuable and people need to see it. You're not bothering anyone, it's the opposite, right? So you really want to make sure that that's your belief. And another one which is also really, really helpful and beneficial to adapt. The third one is, I am a great coach and I get amazing results for my clients. Because what I've realized is that a lot of coaches, the reason why they're not making consistent money is because they are not believing that they're good at what they're doing, or they're struggling with the confidence. Now, if you have that belief that you're an amazing coach, that you're great and you're delivering amazing and awesome results for your clients, because that's really what it's all about. That's what it's all about. That will get you the 100K, right? If you're able to get your clients result. Having that belief will back it up so you stop sabotaging yourself. This is a huge part. I'm not sure if I can see the comment, but pop in the comments what you're learning so far. But these are pretty much the 3 core beliefs. So the first one is signing clients is easy and fun, right? Second belief is my message is important and valuable. And the third belief is I'm a great coach and I get my clients amazing results. When you have these beliefs, you're definitely able to follow up with that. I'm just gonna let you know that you may have some unconscious beliefs that are holding you back quite deeply that you may or may not be aware of. Obviously, working with a coach and uncovering them and then finding your new beliefs is a really great tool in order to get over it, in order to make sure that you're following all the other parts. Now, let's go on to the top, which is definitely my favorite, obviously, because it's right on the top and it influences all the other ones. And what the top is your identity. Your identity. Who you are being, right? How you see yourself and who you think you are. I always say who you think you are because no one gets to determine who you are other than yourself. So who you think you are, it's affecting all of the other things. And I always like to say that you can't outwork your subconscious identity. Who you think you are on a subconscious level, no matter how many actions you take, if you don't see yourself as the person who earns $100,000 a year, it will be pretty hard to actually achieve it. Really hard. So you have to have all these in place in order to actually be able to achieve that. And the identity I'm going to give you here, the 3 identities, like how to be as well, so you get an understanding of what we're going for. One, absolutely most important and absolutely game changer is, just put here, committed. You have to be committed. If you're not committed to take all these action steps in order to achieve that goal, it will be impossible to do it. You have to have that commitment, because here's what I know for certain. When you are committed to doing the action steps consistently, your success is inevitable. Because I know that no one ever failed because of too much commitment. Because it's impossible, right? Failing only happens when you stop. But when you're committed, you never stop. So it's impossible to fail. This is your secret sauce for success. And it's absolutely true. Commitment really changed my life, because I really looked into how committed am I really for my business? Because there's one thing to say that you're committed, but I always like to say, put your money where your mouth is. Meaning, are you investing in yourself to make sure that you're committed? Because saying one thing in terms of, oh yeah, one day I'm going to learn all these skills. One day I'm going to work on my beliefs. Yeah, one day I'm going to take the action. If you invest in a coach, in a program or so, in order to learn those skills, right? In order to take those action steps, having that accountability, working on the beliefs, that is absolutely crucial and important, because then you're actually doing it by just saying it and not putting any kind of investment into it, it's really hard to achieve it. Commitment, the first one. The second one is responsible. You have to be responsible, because your business and the results of your business are 100% responsible to you. And this is sometimes a hard pill to swallow. However, if you are 100% responsible, meaning no, not COVID, no like outside circumstances, not that saying, oh, my clients just don't want to work with me, or they all don't have money, all the other circumstances, all the things, all the excuses I've already heard, they're not true, because it's all up to you, which is cool, because means it's all up to you. You can change it, and you don't have to wait for something else to change, right? It's all for within you. So meaning when people are not signing up with you, well, what do you have to work on? What do you have to work on your identity, how you see yourself, what you believe, the skills you have, and the actions to do in order to get there, right? If people are saying it's too expensive, and that's a common objection, is because you're failing to deliver the value, right? There's always a reason for something, because it's really absolutely 100% possible to be fully booked in your business, in your coaching business. But you have to take responsibility, because when you're not taking responsibility, it's impossible to change anything, right? Because you think it's from the outside, and then you wait. And when you wait, it's never gonna happen, right? And the third one, it's pretty much up to you. Obviously, you can kind of change it, what is important for you, right? If you have to be more disciplined or persistent. What I like is courageous. Courageous. So if you're courageous, meaning you're kind of brave in order to do something new, making decisions that you know will get you onto the right path, even though they might feel a little bit scary. Right? Like, even because sometimes we know something is true, however, doing it is a whole different story. So this is pretty much what would be able for you to actually achieve a goal. And I want you do the same. Take all these steps and write them your own. Use the ones that we already talked about. Seriously, hitting your goal and being a fully booked coach is not really that much of like so many different things. It's more about doing the things you're really, really good at. What you want to do is you want to turn these actions actually into habits. When you turn them into habits and habitualizing your actions, you're not going to wonder if you're going to do it or not, because it's a habit, right? However, in order to turn actions into habit, one thing, and in order to achieve the whole thing, there's one thing that you have to do. And that is to decide. I only was able to actually be committed when I made the decision to put my business first, to actually decide to get the help, to actually get the help from someone who really believed in me way more than I believed in myself. Having the decision to make sure that I work on my beliefs, making the decision that I do up-level my skills. If I wouldn't have made the decision to invest into that influence program, into the presenting program, into the sales program, into the like other online business programs, like so many programs I invested in, if I wouldn't have made that decision, my skills wouldn't have been up-leveled, therefore my actions wouldn't be better, and therefore I wouldn't achieve the results, right? You have to make the decision, you have to decide, and you have to pre-decide. Make that advanced decision that you're deciding to take those actions, turn them into habit, so that you're doing them on a consistent basis, so you don't have to wonder whether or not you're going to take them, because you already made that decision. Now, this module is pretty much what I had in mind when I created the Dream Client Formula, which is my signature program to help coaches get fully booked with dream clients. And this is the reason why my clients are able to book discovery calls consistently, sign clients every single week, and stepping into their fully booked version, because I focus on the subconscious identity. We're focused on the beliefs and the thoughts that are creating the beliefs and how to change them around, like having that mindset mastery in place that goes even further and belong into that. learning the skills, really with the precise focus on the most important parts, to learn better copy, to learn better sales, to learn better connection, and therefore also having the clear action steps, right? Clear action steps is what you need in order to be able to take the actions. It's all important in order to become that fully booked coach. If you feel that you got lots of value out of it and you want to actually take the next step further and want to learn about my dream client formula and are ready and excited to actually start being fully booked, being committed to all these things and ready to decide, pop in the comments the word dream, and I'm going to reach out to you and give you a little bit more information about what it's actually about and what it's included. That is pretty much the entire module that you need to have in place in order for you to achieve the results. Forget about all the other strategies and, okay, here's the $2,000 program and here you need to have 50 clients. That is all easy. Every single person can write this down on a piece of paper, but it doesn't make you achieve it, right? You have to become that person. And what you may or may not realize is what we're here talking about, that's the have level, right? What we're going to have. These are the do's, what we're going to do, the action and the skills. And that is the B level. So if you want to achieve your goal, make sure that you're working from who you are being in order to do what you have to do so that you can have what you want to have in place. Since the B to have, you may or may not have heard about it, but this is really the powerful approach of why we're achieving results and also the reasons when we're not achieving it. Because it's impossible to achieve that without that. It's impossible. Every of those layers are influencing the other one. That's why you should start always with your identity and making that decision. And also following up by action, right? Like a decision without action is not a decision. It's just a wishful thinking thought. I hope that you enjoyed this video and got lots of value out of it. Take it, stick it on your wall, make it somewhere where you see it every single day, because that is your true plan on how you are actually achieving your goal. Obviously, you can put in place whatever feels good for you. If you want to change that goal to 200Ks or whatever, changing the action steps, all up to you. If you don't have any idea on how to actually become fully booked, use what I did. That's exactly what you need. It's really all about focusing on the things that work. Keep it super simple and start being that person working on the beliefs instead of taking the action. And then I promise you, at the end of 2021, you will be fully booked and earning 6 figures. Let me know in the comments how you enjoyed this video. Obviously, for those who want to learn more about the Dream Client Formula and are ready to sign clients consistently, like every single week, and get prospects on a call on a consistent basis and have that feeling of being a successful coach, right? And also seeing the results of it, put in the comments the word dream, and I'm going to give you, send you the information of the Dream Client Formula. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to talk to you soon. And yeah, whatever you are going to do, whatever your goal is, whatever you have to do and whoever you have to be, I believe in you. Bye for now.